Making friends. For some people, this is the easiest thing to do. It just comes naturally to them. They're people. But for other people, this can be really hard, especially if you're dealing with social anxiety, or for you, the world is not a safe place, or if you've gone through all kinds of difficulties or trauma. In some cases, it's that our parents taught us that the world is not a safe place. Or maybe our parents had a hard time with making friends, or we were bullied. There's many different reasons that can become blocks to being able to make friends, but I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to make this a little bit easier. The first thing is to smile. Now, I don't say just smile because it should come from a genuine place. And if you smile with only your lips, it can come off as scary and creepy. Unconsciously, we're reading that those micro expressions that your eyes are not smiling also. So what I say is, one, if you're not good at smiling, and some people aren't, you don't have a genuine smile or it doesn't come naturally to you, every time you brush your teeth, look in the mirror and smile and practice that. And the second thing is, when you meet someone, try to project that you like them, because the first thing is that if you like me, I like you. And you could share that, and hopefully in a genuine way. The interesting thing is that for humans, smiling means, look, I'm safe. I have no teeth that could bite and hurt you. Yet for animals, smiling is a threat. So do be careful to not use this smile to a vicious dog or any other animal. Listen to what they're saying and pay attention to it. A lot of times when people are doing a dialogue, a conversation, all they're thinking about is, what can I say next to join into the conversation? And I'll be honest, some of the best conversations that I've had with other people, I've said nothing. I was just listening to what they said, and I wasn't saying anything magnificent or enthralling or educational or really smart. It was me listening to someone else and asking questions of things that I was intrigued and interested in. And the people have responded to me that that was the best conversation that they've ever had, because I showed that I cared and I engaged with them on something that I found interesting about what they did. So if you listen to what someone's saying and try to engage in the things that they're trying to show you. Now, a good trick to this is that to know that everyone has a little bucket and they're saying, like, I'm sharing this information with you because I want to show you this side of me. And whenever someone is offering you a side of themselves to see, you should actively try to see that. So they might be saying, I'm smart, or I'm hardworking, or this was really difficult for me. And all you need to do is acknowledge that and validate it. And I think that that's what we're all seeking out, isn't it? We all want to be thought of as we're good enough, that we're helpful and we're smart and we're welcomed in and accepted. All of us are hoping for this in our life. And when we get it, it feels amazing. Remember that people don't actually remember what you say. They only remember how you make them feel. Think about someone that really makes you feel good and joyful. It's the feeling that matters. It's not the words. I think that a lot of people that have anxiety about social interaction are worried about saying the wrong thing because they think that if they say the wrong thing, that they'll be judged. I say the wrong thing all the time, and I'm not judged for that. If I project, though, a feeling to someone else and it hurts them, that's something that they may come back to me and say, you know what, Georgia, that didn't make me feel good. But don't worry about the little things. People are not actually registering it. Use someone's name and try to remember it. This one's so hard for me. I think I have a form of dyslexia and it just kind of goes into my mind and then leaves me. I try to use some mnemonic memory tools to be able to link the name together, because the name might sound like something that I remember or have a shape that I'll remember with the name, and I try to keep that into my head and then use it in a conversation. We all are a little bit narcissistic and we like to hear our own name used. And when you say it back to someone, they do have a little tiny of a perking up, a little dopamine hit that happens in them, and people enjoy that. I I've said this before, but please don't do the one-up thing of a story. Someone tells you about they got one fish and you tell them how you got 5. Hold your ego back and allow someone else to shine and spend time with them. If they just learned how to do this wonderful dive and you're an Olympic diver, you can hold that back for a little bit and really listen to their own journey. Have good boundaries and consequences. Remember, it's your job to teach people how to treat you. And so sometimes we hold back if something hurts me or something bothers me, or please don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm usually sleeping. Often we don't do that because we don't want to deal with that confrontation, but then you end up with someone that's constantly calling you at 3 in the morning because you didn't say that that bothered you. So remember, sharing these things actually makes for good, healthy friendships. Give a genuine compliment. Now, I think that all of us are starved for that really authentic affirmation of who we are as a person. I try to not use something that's like looks or stereotypical because they already get a whole bunch of that. So if they have really beautiful eyes, they've probably heard that a whole bunch of different times. And it's a physical attribute that they had no real say in. But notice their character traits, who they are as a person, because that's what really matters. And if you mention that they're really good at organizational skills, or they really have a calming influence, or you enjoyed talking with them in an authentic way, they'll remember it. And for some people, that's what keeps them going through the day, because maybe they had a really hard day. We don't know what anyone else is going through. And by authentic, I mean use something that you really believe. A lot of people are effusive and constantly just complimenting everything. People can read that and then they just don't trust what you say. But if you give something that is specific and you give a reason for why you think this, then that makes it more authentic and it's substantiated behind facts. And that they'll probably remember for many years to come. So those were some tips and tricks on making friends. I would love to hear your tips and tricks that have helped you with making friends. And hopefully you like this video enough to subscribe.